Okay, everybody, I'm here to sort of talk about the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view tonight. Now, I didn't watch the pay-per-view, I'll be honest with you, but I did read the results, and I kind of followed sort of on a live blog or live stream or whatever you want to call it through WrestlingNewsWorld.com. And I have to say that from what I read, it looks like it's a good pay-per-view, or was a good pay-per-view on paper, but I gotta watch it later on, so I basically gotta download it later on to see if it was or not. But the highlights basically that people are talking about is we have three new champions. We have a new Divas champion, Alicia Fox, which I think a lot of people prefer having her as champion than Eve, because she's more willing to take the bumps and is, very aggressive in the ring. So we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, she's the new Divas champion. We have a new World Heavyweight champion in Rey Mysterio. And this is kind of surprising, but I think it kind of works out right, because if WWE is going to go in the direction they are for SmackDown, then Rey Mysterio being the world champion there will really help out, especially in a feud with, let's say, Jack Swagger or whoever. So that would be pretty cool. And we also have a new WWE champion in Sheamus. That's right, Sheamus is the new champion. He won it thanks to the NXT rookies, or graduates or rebels. Basically what happened, from what I understood, the NXT rookies came out. Well, basically they took out Evan Bourne and a few other guys in the back. Then they came out, interfered in the match, took out Randy Orton, took out Edge, took out John Cena, and I think they even tried to get their hands on Sheamus. I'm not really sure. And Sheamus took this opportunity to sneak in, get the win, 1, 2, 3, and walk out as champion. But he went through the crowd. And then as he was holding up the championship saying, "Hey, look, I got it," the NXT guys go after him. But also at the beginning of the night, Vince McMahon comes out, from what I understand, from what I read, Vince McMahon came out at the beginning of the night and basically said he's going to talk to Bret Hart's representatives to see if Bret Hart will still be able to perform his duty as the Raw general manager. Now, the reason I say that is because I want to point out two things about this night that might be related to NXT. And you can even look at this past Saturday night in Madison Square Garden. For some of you that were at Madison Square Garden, and for some of you that took pictures and even video of the event, at the end of the main event between John Cena and Sheamus there, from what I saw, the NXT rookies invaded again. Now, here's the question. Just like tonight, Sheamus ran off from the fight. Now, Sheamus rolled out of the ring because I guess kind of walked away from the fight as well on Saturday night after he was beat. But here's the deal. Here's the thing. Sheamus also was the last one to show up in the brawl on Monday Night Raw with the lead pipe. So, I'm just wondering if maybe Sheamus, in a way, is in league with the NXT rookies, or the rebels, whatever you want to call them. I wonder if he's the leader, the one that's behind everything. Because when you think about it, the three top suspects that I look at as possibly being the mouthpiece, the organizers of this whole NXT deal, the three top suspects are, as I mentioned in the past, in previous videos, are Drew McIntyre is one. The other one now is Sheamus. And then, of course, as I mentioned, at the beginning of the pay-per-view, he came out and talked about the fact that Bret Hart wasn't at the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view because of what happened. Vince McMahon. That's right. Vince McMahon is a suspect in this. Now, why would I say that? Well, let's take a look at it. Drew McIntyre basically wants everything let's take a look at these three, okay? Drew McIntyre basically wants everything handed to him on a silver platter. He wants to throw his weight around because he's the chosen one. Now, that could be a reason. Now let's take a look at let's take a look at Sheamus. Sheamus has only been champion once before tonight. Now why would he want to associate himself with the NXT rookies? Well, it's real simple. He doesn't want to lose. It's because he wants to be champion for as long as he wants to be. And he's just like the NXT rookies. He's tired of being held down by the WWE and not being given what he feels he deserves. That could be another reason. And what about Vince McMahon? Why would he be associated with the NXT rookies? Well, it's real simple. Vince McMahon wants everything on Raw wants the NXT Invasion to look like it's Bret Hart's fault, so that Bret Hart will leave the WWE and finally McMahon can win the war. But that's the way but honestly, that's why I think these are the top 3 suspects. Now you might say to yourself, it doesn't make sense for Vince McMahon to be a part of this since he's the chairman and he's basically part of WWE management. That's true. It wouldn't make sense, but it would make sense if he wanted to get rid of Bret Hart. Secondly, what sense would it make for Drew McIntyre or Sheamus? Well, like I said, Drew McIntyre wants everything handed to him on a silver platter. And Sheamus basically is the kind of guy that likes to take people out so that there's more room for him, and now that he's champion, less people for him to defend the title against. And that way, he can also have a group of guys protect him. So, here's the deal. Who do you think, I ask you this question, who do you think out of those 3 could be the mouthpiece? Could be the organizer? The one that's leading the charge, the one that's allowing these NXT guys into the building. Now I know some people might have been saying that it's Chris Jericho that's behind it. Yeah, he's one of the suspects, but I truly doubt Chris Jericho's behind it. Now Michael Cole might be another suspect. So the top 3, like I said, that I look at are Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Vince McMahon. The top 5 is at number 4, you can add Chris Jericho, and at number 5, you can add Michael Cole, or if you want to, you can reverse the roles. But again, tell me from your own perspective who you think, who you believe is behind this. Who's behind the NXT invasion, who's letting them in, and if you agree with what I'm saying. Or do you, like some fans have said, probably think the NXT rookies are working by themselves with Wade Barrett as the leader, or even David Otunga as the leader? Who do you think it is? So I ask you that question. I'm asking you this question. Who do you think is behind it, or do you think they're working on their own? I ask you that question, and that's all I'm going to say. I'll try to give a better review of the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view later on when I download it and watch it. But until then, God bless, and I'm out.